Levels is good. The levels is good. Water boy. Good evening and welcome. Oh, that shit be right in the fucking face. God damn. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one knowing Calentho Taylor. Yo, this is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live and direct from South Florida. And boy, I'm telling you, do we have a big show for you today. It is officially September 12th. It's one day after September 11th. We had a whole week of football going on. Like, you understand? Like, in week one, we got to see the Cowboys win. We got to see knockouts, tap-outs. We know we're going to have some birthday shout-outs. We're going to talk about BG as she continues to be locked up. Well, you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to talk a little something that's near and dear to my heart. That's a little build a holiday. Well, we're going to build a holiday. I'm going to teach you guys how to build a holiday. Right, we're going to talk about some college hot seats. We're going to talk about the rat. I actually get a chance to talk some Knicks talk and some legacy talk. We're going to talk about all that and more next on Volume 8, Episode 3, at track 457 of the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here. Regardless of the time and regardless of the weather. What's going on, Martha? We see you on the call-in line. The phone lines are open. Don't forget, the phone lines are open immediately. So you know what we say, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather.
You play to win the game.
My mouth.
Hello?
It's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast.
You play to win the game.
Woo!
Hello?
Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. You guys are ready for this? Hey, I know you guys forget. The call-up line is open. Follow the link and join the call-in line. Giants fans, call up. Cowboys fans, call up. Lamar Jackson fans, you definitely gonna want to call up, especially if my co-host pops in today. Lakers fans, call up. College fans, yeah, we want to hear from you too. All of you guys, you call up. The phone lines are open. But you know what we do before we start any podcast? Before we start any podcast, we like to give our little birthday shout-outs. So you know what we do here, right? Is that we like to give a birthday shout-out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we were on the air. So let's go ahead and get that music in your ear. Hey, yo, DJ MyT. Can I get that a little more? I like that. You like that? I like that because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, we want to sing happy birthday shout out. Listen, we only had one birthday. If I checked properly, that is. I only saw one birthday that popped up on my Facebook, right? That popped up on my Facebook over the weekend, and that is for one Chungus, pleasure to have worked with you and call your matches for a whole entire weekend in Naples. Man, how long ago was that? Whew. That was right around spring break. Was that spring breakish? I think that was spring break. Yo, shout out for the vodka and lemonade that keeps me tipsy. Am I unmuted everywhere? Just want to make sure I'm not muted anywhere. What's going on, Chill? Well, we see you popping up on the call-in hotline. You calling in already? See, he heard the phone lines were open. He learned the phone lines open. You make sure you text KJ so he don't run from this conversation. Because he said he was going to be here. I don't see no KJ. The show has started. I don't see no KJ. I don't know. Apparently, you guys supposed to have this conversation rolling, and I don't see no KJ. So you guys let me know. Right? So, like I said, we have a birthday. I know that's the only birthday that we had, folks. And that was on Saturday to my boy Chungus. So, Chungus, we want to wish you a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. Hope you regret nothing. But more importantly, you get your weekends at Bernie's on, and you continue to stay MyT. You likes that? I likes that. You likes that? I likes that. But like my boy Chill Will likes to say, hey yo DJ MyT, cut the beat. Can't forget about our senior Cleveland correspondent, Chill Will, up in the building. He over there in the corner now. He ready. I'm telling you, today was a heated Monday. Like today was a heated Monday. Like we came back on the podcast last week, but I was really just in preparation for this week. Like all last week, we had all kinds of issues. Like we ain't got no issues this week. Like you can hear me on Instagram. You can hear me on Facebook with no problem. You can hear me on Twitter Spaces, no problem. You can watch the video on Twitter with no problem. You can watch the video on YouTube, no problem. You can watch the video on Twitch with no problem. Like we're everywhere that you want to be. You're in more places than American Express. Like the only thing that's in more communities than the Mighty Sports Podcast is hookers. Like don't fact check me on that one, but I'm pretty damn sure. And don't you guys forget. Don't you guys forget. Make sure you like, you share, you follow, and you subscribe to the podcast. You do all that, right? You do all that. You do the whole quartet, right? You like if you listen to the podcast, like you don't want to listen to the podcast by yourself. Like next time you run into one of your people, you want to be like, yo, you want to hear this motherfucker's on the podcast? Yo, make sure you share the podcast. Sharing is caring. Remember, clapping is a group activity. It at least takes two. Oh man. Let's get into the podcast. I think you guys know how this happens, right? Like, let's go ahead and start off with our MyT topic of the day. And our MyT topic of the day is a special topic that we like to throw into every single podcast, right? And what we do is that, and for this topic, hey ladies, we've been doing this for the majority of the last 207 days. Like, I feel like since about like day 14, we've been making sure that this young lady does not get forgotten. So we want to give a special shout out to Brittany Griner. Hopefully she can return home safely. If you can't keep it in whatever positive thoughts or positive prayers or whatever positive energy that you use to inspire hope, right? And you look to for your guidance, right? Go ahead and do that. What? Geno Smith is 4 for 15? The fuck? Sorry. The Jet fan in me almost glitched. But this is what happened. When a quarterback goes to competent organizations, they get a chance to learn from some decent veterans. And now look at him. First game of the season, 4 for 15. You understand? Geno Smith throwing 4 for 15, that was his completion. Like, he had 14 completions his whole entire season with the New York Jets. So the fact that he got 15 right now in one game to 8 different receivers, he hadn't hit 8 different receivers the whole entire season. Now, I know you're saying it's the Jets. Like, what do you expect? It's the Jets over here. Like, what are we talking about? I'm just saying, though. It's also Geno Smith. Pompano's finest. I don't know if you guys know this, right? Please listen to the podcast. But Geno Smith grew up less than 20 minutes from where I'm at right now. He went to school right down the goddamn block. It's really hard to talk shit about Geno Smith in this area. Geno Smith is one of the local saviors. You understand? Like, but you have to understand. He does stuff for the community and for the people in his community. Like, see, look at that, force feeder to DJ Metcalf. That shit wasn't gonna stop. DJ Metcalf got hands. Like, people act like DJ Metcalf didn't have hands, right? Didn't have a catch radius, and couldn't separate in coverage. Things that Geno Smith rarely had when he was a Jet. I mean, he had a little bit of Brandon Marshall, I think. Eric Decker really couldn't get space at the time that we got him. That was that dude's name. That fucking male model that all the chicks I knew was fucking fiending over. Like, they don't know no football player's name. All of a sudden, I mentioned Eric Decker one time, and they're all their eyes are like, Eric Decker, I know that name. How the fuck you know Eric Decker? Google Eric Decker. He's a Calvin Klein fucking underwear model. And listen, not for nothing, That's probably what you need to do with your athletes. Put them in more underwear ads. You'll gain the whole entire female audience that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll forget that that half of your players are beating up women every goddamn day. Every other day. Not all of you. It's a good amount. I mean, But again, let's rewind this back. Because listen, as you guys know, if you're familiar with the MyT Sports Podcast, if you're not, yeah, that sound that you hear is me blowing one in the air. Yeah, I like to relax my mind, let my conscience be free while you're listening to the sports of MYT, right? So, if you guys don't know, if you're unaware, I like to have a game on in the background, and obviously it's Monday night, it's football season. What else do you expect me to have on except for Monday Night Football? So we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos, and this game, at least right now in the first half, is a lot closer than I think a lot of people anticipated. But I think we're seeing the same thing in Seattle that we saw happen with Cleveland. So you know what? I'll go there first, especially since I have my senior Cleveland correspondent here, right?
Cleveland! This is for you!
When I made my picks when I made my picks last week, I could honestly say, let's see here, I did not pick Cleveland. I picked Carolina to win. And obviously I was wrong. The Carolina Panthers ended up losing that game. But I ended up realizing something while watching that game. And it's something I didn't take into account. I looked at this as the perfect game for Baker Mayfield. That Baker Mayfield has been King Petty since he's been in college, right? That all these things, all these little slights are just the right fuel for him to be a driven player to come out with this win in game one. That was my thought pattern about that game. About a third into that game, I realized I was wrong. I'm talking about I was dead wrong. I'm talking about the weak of the strong. I had nothing going on. I was dead wrong. And it makes me realize what I'm seeing also here with tonight with Denver, Seattle. And let me dive into this. Let me peel back a couple of these onions for you guys. You know what I'm saying? What I ended up seeing was, yes, Baker Mayfield wanted to ball, but he was one man. It was one man versus a team, a whole team that felt some type of way about him. Now, I'm using those words specifically because, like I said, I see a lot of the same thing happening right now in Seattle and Denver. You have a whole team that felt some type of way about him. At least to the point where when they're looking at Baker Mayfield, they have that day circle. They're like, oh no. All 52 of us, 53 of us, 54 of us, how many people on the roster? 69 of us want to whoop Baker Mayfield's ass. So while Baker Mayfield might be trying to hype some of his teammates up so that they can live up to how big this moment is for him in his head, there is no hyping up Cleveland. Cleveland was hype. Cleveland came out 115%, ready to come after Baker on offense. Ready to come after Baker on defense, right? Ready to score on offense and show them like, yo, look what was holding us back. You understand? They balled out with Jacoby Brissett. This is the back to the formula of like, we could look good with any average quarterback, but we have some great players around us, and we're trying to be great. They balled out with Jacoby Brissett because they all were motivated. All 69 men on the roster. One focus, one goal, one mind, one bed, by himself, in the mirror. Who you talking to? I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Oh yeah. You understand? And this is how we get, what was this blowout? It was, hold on, I have it here. Don't worry about it. Because I think they didn't score no more than 3 points. But no, I'm sorry. It was 20. It was 26-24. I don't know why I thought they only scored 3 points. And the game, and the other thing about it, like the game had the intrigue that you wanted. Like it had its storyline. Like it had the storyline coming in. The score, the score, the pace of the game represented such. But those Cleveland Browns players, they were motivated. They wanted this win. They collectively wanted this win more than the Carolina Panthers collectively wanted this win. I'm not gonna say that all of the Carolina Panthers like wasn't trying out there, or wasn't giving 110%, or didn't want to match Baker's energy. I'm just saying that not everybody's gonna believe in you immediately. Not all of them is bought into you, but what you can rally everybody around easily is hatred for one guy. Like, hey, we all can agree we don't like this motherfucker, right? He ain't here no more. We go to speed. Like, we don't like this motherfucker, right? Yeah, let's go whoop his ass. Like, let's go show this motherfucker that we ain't need him. Like, you understand? He was holding us back offensively, defensively, as a community, and everything. I could have said they'd rather have Deshaun Watson than you. And he was out, and he was out there playing the ding-a-ling song with chicks. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I'ma get in child pose so you can see my ding-a-ling. Breakfast sucio. Also, since we're here, right? I had some Spanish shit just popped in my head. Let me give a rest in peace, right, to Uncle Jorge. He recently passed away. You know what I mean? Lewis's uncle, Gloria's, his cousin's Gloria, his cousin Jason, his cousin Barbara's dad. Like he recently lost his struggle. And I mean, and Ayo, he's been fighting for a while. So bless his heart. Like he's put up every single fight that fighting can possibly done. And I want to honestly say, in my eyes, he may have lived like 20 years old longer than I thought he was. I don't know what the actual numbers would be for the rest of the family, right? But they have a lot more insight. I'm just telling you how things was always looking from the outside, like you never knew. So you know what I mean. Condolences out to the family. Hope everybody stays strong, and you know what they say in time. You know what I mean. All heart wounds heal, but take as much time as you need, because who knows how long it's gonna take for you guys to heal from this one. But let you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yo, your primo Chocolate is over here. If you guys need to know, want to blaze on, want to talk, do anything, catch up on the drink, talk on the podcast, wrap it up, chap it up, anything. Got you. All right, back into the matter at hand. All right, let's get back into let's get into some more football, right? Let's get into a little bit more football. Chill, we see you over there. Not only did the Cleveland Browns, did he catch that? But he didn't stay in bounds. What a catch! God damn. But not only did the Cleveland Browns come up with a victory, but it was a nice statement game, right? It was a nice statement game to the world and to their former quarterback that, yo, we didn't need this guy, yo, we don't need you. That we could push through, we will overcome, and that's what they did. Kareem Hunt got himself a touchdown. All the major players in this game got a touchdown. Like they all showed up. Everybody on both ends of the field, they showed up. Ultimately, it will be Cleveland that came away with the win at the end. But it's not like Baker Mayfield didn't try. Not like he laid down. Like, ironically though, Baker Mayfield put up just as much fantasy points as Joe Burrow did, and Joe Burrow threw 4 interceptions. Like, I'm telling you, Joe Burrow may have been the most frustrating player to have last week this week in fantasy football. And oh my God, was that Pittsburgh and Cincinnati game kind of what everybody thought it may have been in the back of their head? A division rivalry game that may get ugly. But shame on the people that wrote the Pittsburgh Steelers out. Shame on them. And when I say them, I mean me. Shame on me. Like, shame on me. I'll take that. I'll bite the big L. Let me show how I bite L's. Put that shit in the ear and forget about it. Look at Russell Wilson. He got time. He had crazy time back there. Finds a man open in the middle of the field on the 35-yard line. Takes it up 35-25. Runs out of bounds. First down. Who the fuck caught that one? Sutton. I forgot what team I was just talking about. I really did. We was blowing one in the air. Fuck it, we'll scratch that team until I remember again. One team that surprised me, right? One team that really surprised me, and I just realized I was talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's one team that surprised me outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yo, how you had that? I'm sorry, like Seattle literally just dropped an interception in the end zone. It literally went right straight through his hands, but this is why this dude plays defense and also doesn't return kicks. Like Russell Wilson was throwing that to him like he almost forgot what team he was playing for. And it hit him right in the chest too. Right in the chest. I don't know if that's a number 6. It's Diggs. Right? Oh, is that Diggs too? Nah, that's not the Diggs I'm thinking about. That's not Stefan's brother. Doesn't he play for Dallas? Stefon Diggs' brother. Where does he play for? He plays for Dallas, right? He doesn't play for Seattle. That's not Stefon Diggs' brother that just dropped that pass like that. And if that is, that also shows you why you're the Diggs that plays defense. but in all seriousness, I don't know how serious you can get with sports, right? But in all seriousness, let's get back to this New York game because we saw some giant gonads right from the Giants, right? Like we're talking about some big gustos over here. New York Giants. They got themselves a new head coach, right? What's his name? Brian DeBull, or Dayball, something like that. The Bull, right? Brian DeBull. I'm gonna call him the Bull. He comes in there. He's looking to reset the culture. Over the last couple of years, they've had a couple of let's see, in easy terms, fugazi head coaches. A bunch of guys that the locker room didn't believe in. Like a bunch of guys that thought that they were the smartest person in the room every time they stepped into a room, but they couldn't figure out how to win one game. Like you're so goddamn smart. How come you can't figure out how to get a dub? You know what I mean? They got rid of guys that the guys that they thought was condescending to the media, condescending to the audience, condescending to the players. And now they got the Bull in there. And the Bull came in there and he changed the culture. And he started wanting to hold guys accountable. But not just hold them accountable. Trust the players. Trust that if we get you the ball in open space or in positions that you like, you will be productive. We're going to try for the 167th year to fix this offensive line, and they may have this year. Only time will tell. See, there's a lot of question marks that still get left with after week 1. Some teams answer the questions that you have very easily because you're just looking for consistency from them. Like, okay, that's what we recognize. That's who you are. Gotcha. Other teams, it takes some time. And rightfully so. Some teams have to earn your trust. Some teams have to do more to earn your trust, to earn your blind faith. When it comes to, let's just say, teams like the Buffalo Bills, just think about them. They have a fan base where even right now, some of them are very reluctant to puff out their chest like it's their year. Or puff out their chest as if they don't have a chance to win it this year. They refuse to puff out their chest as if like they even have a good team. Because they're scared. Because until now their team has not shown consistency for it. They haven't been consistent since like 1990 something. We talking about since the days of like Jim Kelly and Eric Moles. Woo-wee, woo-wee. So even for Giants fans, right? And Giants fans were hyped. And Giants were hyped. You understand? The Giants fans were hyped. The Giants players were hyped. The Giants coach was hyped. Because they went out there and they made a gutso move. He played, actually, you know what? Very perfect. Because the New York Giants head coach did something that a New York Jets head coach is infamous for saying. And you guys hear me play it at the beginning of every single podcast.
You play to win the game. Hello?
He played to win the game. He was at home. He was on the road facing AFC contending team, a team that's played in the AFC Championship, that's been in the playoffs for the last couple of years, a team with one of the best backs in the game, in history of the games, in this early start of his career. And they saw an opportunity. They saw the opportunity to flat out, injuries this week. So TJ Watt out a minimum of 6 weeks, maybe the season with a torn pec. We got Elijah Mitchell out with a sprained MCL, expected to miss 2 months. And we'll talk about the last notable injury when we talk about them, period. I learned that from Coco Gauff. Period. Was it Coco Gauff? Was that Coco Gauff that did it that did that shit over the weekend or whatever it was in an interview? Period. Not you, Coco. She got it from some of them like hot girl summer shit, but still, we gonna represent for the representation. Period. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just know about just assume what it is. But don't make any assumptions because it's not what you think it may be. So, the Giants, they make a gutso call. They pull out something out of not just Herm Edwards' playbook, but something out of the Bruce Arians school of football. No risky, no bisky. That's really what it, like. They saw an opportunity. They wanted to go up 1. They could have took the tie. They could have kicked the field goal or the extra point. But they said, no, we're going for 2. We're going for the conversion. They got the ball. It's a nice little swing out. You thought they was going to fall short. A little bouncy bounce. Bounce. Next thing you know, they're in the end zone. They're up by 1. Now you're just looking at the defense like, bend, don't break. You know what I mean? And if you bend, definitely don't fold. And they allow, listen, the New York Giants act like they wanted to give that game away. Giants fans, call up. I want to hear from you. Cowboys, call up. You're not going to be happy with me. I see KJ over there, the Instagram line. I mean, let me know if I need to send you guys the video feed, the video thing again, because I had to reset it. So I don't know if it produced a new one. I don't know if it produces a new one every single show, or if it's the same one that you're able to get in through. You know, let me just send it to you guys, because both of yous came in 2 different ways. Who the hell said something? I got something from somebody. What's that little connect? That was KJ. Okay. All right. You know what? Okay. So it worked. Alrighty. Never mind. I will continue with what I was saying. So the same one does work. So they took a picture straight up. They took a cue right out of Bruce Arians. Like, no risky, no bisky. We're gonna go for this, and we're gonna try to get that win. And the defense, they really almost tried to give this game away. We're talking about it's 3rd and was it like 4? 3rd and 14, whatever it was, twice. Basically, they had to stop twice, and twice on 3rd down, pass interference. They get the third down again. Pass interference. Holding. Sorry, it was holding calls. That's what they got. And so we got some messages coming up. Oh, we got you. We'll get you. I'm gonna see. I see that. Listen, we got this game on right now. Listen, it said people are underestimating the impact of Russell Wilson's Super Bowl interception had on Pete Carroll. Listen, man, Pete Carroll did that to himself. Brett screwed Brett. That was his fault. But back to the Giants. We'll come back to this game. We'll have plenty of time to come back to this game. They get. What the hell are fans doing? Are they eking? Are they going? Oh my God, Dolphins fans are so. I don't know why Anthony Edwards just got in trouble for. But I was about to say something. They're so goofy. Let's just put it that way. They're goofy. I guess that's a new word. Goofy. There was the Cleveland Browns kick. That was like a 52-yard kick that he made. Wasn't that by the rookie or some shit? Was it a second-year player? How about them Dolphins? I was just talking shit about them Dolphins. Listen, call into the podcast. I sent you a... Wait, hold on. One second. Did I forget to hit send? Did I forget to send you the last person that I looked at? No, I did. I sent it to you. Call in. Let me hear from you. Don't be shy. The phone lines are open. The Giants get that holding call back to back on third downs. And it's funny. They go back to the same guy. And it makes me realize real quick why you was holding him on 2 straight third down plays, because he was about to burn you. And no doubt he gets burnt. And now we're talking about now we're talking about Tennessee being in field goal range in a 1-point game. Again, we talk about bend don't break, right? Well, the defense finally holds the line. The Tennessee Titans come up to kick. They kick the ball. Laces in. Wide right. And can I tell you, the Giants fans I was with and around, they erupted the place. They scared this little princess across the board. How about them Dolphins, baby? They scared this little princess, but it was a hell of a game. And it's a game like that early on helps you galvanize that locker room just a little bit more. If everything hasn't been fully solidified yet, it helps you solidify just a little bit more. That wet concrete is starting to get dry because some of that foundation now that you were setting, when you ask the players, hey, you want to go for 2 here? And they're like, yeah, fuck that. Let's do that shit. That's the players' words, not mine. And then it works because the players execute. They give their 182% so they can make that play work, and they get the touchdown, and then they get the conversion, and then the defense they do just enough to get the stop, and next you know the football gods open up in their favor. They get their Lance Stevenson on, and they blow that shit wide right. And even though there was a factor of luck in there, the players don't care about that. They just know that they did what they needed to do to get lucky and to get that dub. And Saquon Barkley had himself a game, New York. New York is called up. Listen. I know you trying to sound off. All right, I see you guys. But Saquon Barkley had himself a game. He had himself a game of games. We're talking about over 190. Was it 190 yards rushing? Touchdown, receptions. And it wasn't his normal slinky looking rushing, right? That little zigzag joint that he likes to do. No. This was, okay, I see my whole one move cut. Follow my blocker, bounce out, run up field. It was constant. It was a consistent dose of run forward, positive yards, run forward, positive yards, run forward, positive yards. And then after you've bludgeoned them enough time, you know what's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna make an undisciplined tackle. They're gonna try for that weak ass arm tackle that gets hit like a turnstile. Next you know you're breaking for 30. Cause that's what he did. Finally. It's been so long. It's been too long since you've been gone. I'm so alone. We miss you. Run, Forrest, run. So Saquon had a bounce back game. The offensive line looked proper. Daniel Jones didn't look disgusting. The defense held up. What's going on, Bands? We see you too. Phone lines are open. You guys know. What's going on, Monica? We see you too. Yeah, there's football guys. There's sports guys. Every sport has its own guys. Oh yeah, hair's getting long. You see that? I whip my hair back and forth. 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 You know what I'm saying? Because I got that whip appeal now. What's going on, Baz? We see you. We see you. So the Giants went big, and that's what they should do. Right? You're not called large. You're not called big. You're not called huge. You're not called enormous. You're not called humongous. You're fucking Giants. That's how you should play. Big man on the block. And you beat a good team. You beat a hell of a team. Now, this is where the tricky part comes in. Can they be consistent? How much more of this can they ride out? Because if, for any reason, let's say they lose their next 3 games, all of this euphoria, all of this good feeling that they have, all of the great things that is being said about the coach now, they're gonna start getting questioned again. And that foundation that started to solidify in week 1, if you don't win any more games by week 4, week 5, that thing's gonna start loosening up a little bit again. It's gonna start liquefying. And you're going to start seeing the waves start coming again in Giant Nation in New York. You know how that media goes. Then you're going to have those players start being asked those questions. What happened when the no risky, no biscuit gets dry? And you don't got no milk to wash it down? Next you know, you sit in front of the media talking about, well, let's stay NFC East, right? Let's stay NFC East for a moment. Love you too, sis. Let's stay NFC East for a moment. Because while the Giants got themselves a nice victory to start off their season, the Dallas Cowboys may have just been knocked out of their season in week 1. And I know you're I know you guys are saying like, whoa, how do you get knocked out of your season in week 1? What happened? What catastrophic event must have occurred? That's exactly what happened. It is catastrophic. Because for the second time in 3 years, they're losing. They won't have their quarterback to start the season. Dak Prescott, he takes an helmet to the arm, wrist, forearm, head and shoulders, knees and toes, whatever. Damn. He planted him. Yo. But you know what, though? I'm watching Washington. Is that Washington that just got trucked? That's the same way the Giants hit Derrick Henry. So, I'm just going to run back a little bit. Right? Let me backtrack a little bit. Derrick Henry wasn't the bully in that game. He also was they also came after him. So as much as Derrick Henry normally likes to do the hitting, he was also hit and hit hard and hit so that he knew that there was people coming after him. Hit just hard enough to want to have to put that head on a swivel. And right now you see Seattle's defense coming after Denver. You saw 2 straight stops in the backfield. 2nd and 12 right now. 2nd and 12? Only? Could have sworn I just saw 2 straight stops. Hey, who knows? Oh, he breaks one. It's like about 7 and back. Maybe about 8. Could be like 3rd and 4, looks like. Maybe 3rd and 5. Probably 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. So the Dallas Cowboys, they lose Dak Prescott. They lose Dak Prescott. And Dak, he goes out, right? And he tells everybody, well, you know what? He's jammed his thumb before, jammed his hand before. And if you play sports, there are certain injuries that happen all the time, right? I could have, like, assuming that with football players, they're always getting, quarterbacks especially, they're always getting their hands and their elbows and their forearms and their biceps ran into, right? Either by people with pads or by their helmets. Listen, that's why you need a little bit of muscle to protect all that shit in there, right? Catching right on the hand, get a little stinger. Basketball players, you understand, you used to sprained fingers, jammed fingers, sprained ankles, little injuries that normally when they hit you, you're like, okay, I can tighten this up, or I can wrap this up and I can come back. But every once in a while, right, when those injuries happen, you very quickly find out based off of little movements, right? Or let's just say little movements, but minuscule movements. And for Dak Prescott, it was something as simple as being able to grip the ball. Whenever he tried to grip the ball, or basically anytime he would try to grip the ball, he had no grip. The ball would basically fall out of his hands. My hands are shaking now. Look at that. Look at that. It's manifesting over. It really is. Look at that shit. Right? So eventually, he had to tell everybody, like, listen, like, I can't come out. Like I'm unable to. I have a injury now. And now here you go again. Dak Prescott with Dallas Cowboys find themselves with no quarterback. But even with no quarterback, you hear the rumors already, and I don't even want to call it rumors. You hear the fans. Let's call it what it is. You hear the fans already, right? Because this isn't no real speculation, no real. You hear the fans already expressing who they might like to replace Dak Prescott. And 2 names, interestingly, came up. One name was Colin Kaepernick. I was really surprised to hear Dallas Cowboy fans talk about, let's see what Cap can do. Hey, what about Cap? I mean, he's kind of durable. He hasn't taken a hit in quite some time. Maybe we should bring him in for a tryout. Think Cap will give us a look-see? Like, seriously. Like, they're talking about Colin Kaepernick, Mr. Take the Knee himself. The guy that I could have swore that half of Texas hated just because of the fact that he took a knee. Under pressure. They got Russell Westbrook under pressure. Flag on the play. Walk like an Egyptian. I don't know what the fuck this was. Delay of game. Okay. I was like, walk like an Egyptian. Oh, we're gonna take a break pretty soon, right? What do we have left? No, fuck that. Now, honestly, let's make sure we cover. Let's make sure we cover all areas. It's sad to hear that Dak as we poke fun of it, right? We poke fun of the Cowboys. It's sad to hear that Dak Prescott is going through another injury again. Right? We don't wish injury on at least 99.9% of players. And we hope that he got a speedy and healthy recovery and he'll be able to return and play the game of football so that we have an opportunity to talk shit about him again. We would hate to not be able to talk shit about him because this is the end of his career or this has ruined him. Pass interference. That right there, that was a veteran play. That was, I'm going to put the ball up and make it a 50-50 ball and let the referees make a call. I remember the Jets used to do this too, back when they had, when they used to have Brandon Marshall and Antonio Holmes. Santonio Holmes? Santonio Holmes. They used to throw up a lot of 50-50 balls. And then used to try to get pass interferences. But oh yeah, that's definitely like he held his jersey back. And then he got snuffed in the face for it. And then Diggs got brought into the picture. Yo, is that the Diggs of the brother Diggs? Somebody got to figure this out for me, right? I'm asking you guys. Help me out here. Cause I didn't even look it up. I guess I could have looked it up. You know. But in all honesty, the Cowboys are gonna have to look for a quarterback. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is right now. Like, hold on, let me look that up. Because as they're talking about Colin Kaepernick, the other interesting name that they're talking about, Shears, I don't know, Shear 2 of the 3 letters that starts out with Cap. I forgot Cap spells his name a little bit differently. But the other name that they're talking about is Cam Newton. I've heard fans cry, or I don't want to say cry, bellow out may be the proper terminology, right? For Cam Newton. They would like Cam Newton to come into this lineup. And this is one of those few times I don't see a problem with it. Who is their backup quarterback? I don't know. It's not showing me easily. Jason Garrett. That's not right. Tony. Okay, whatever. This thing is just giving me anything. So now the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to figure out quickly if they're gonna go with the quarterback that they have now, sitting in the win as a backup, or if they're gonna try to sign somebody off the street that they think can possibly hold down this fort until Dak Prescott comes back. It's Cooper Rush. Okay. It's Cooper Rush. Dak Prescott is possibly going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So let's say he's out 6. That's a third of the season. He's out 8. You're closer to half of the season. The Dallas Cowboys already lost their first game. Without a starting quarterback, how many more games in the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks are winnable if they were going to be a problem to win when you were fully healthy? The Cowboys fans, call up. These phone lines are open for you today. I understand you may be a little depressed, but it's okay. The thing about depression, you should never have to deal with that shit alone. This is why we're here on the MyT Sports Podcast to help you guys. I'm through the rough moments in sports. Yo, that defense in Seattle came hungry today. Like we always do at this time. Listen, last time they got the stop on the 1 yard line. This time they get the... Oh, I don't know if he got the fumble. He has the ball right there. He has the ball right there. And then it pops out when his elbow touches. That may not be a fumble. Yeah, that may not be a fumble. They may say that his elbow hit the ground and then the ball came out, that he was already down. They may give him a down. This one's going to be interesting. Let's see how the referees play this one. So I wonder if the Cowboys fans right now, or if the Cowboy fan in you, is now thinking that the season's over already. If the Cowboy fan is just thinking like, okay, here we go. I'm wondering if the Cowboy fan is wondering like, damn. I know it only feels like, I know it's only about 2 injuries, but in a weird way, it feels like Dak Prescott is always injured now. Now, I know it's only been like 2 injuries he's had. Maybe 3. I think it's only 2. But what's this, 2 in 5 years? What, 6 years? But definitely 2 in the last 3? I remember most people don't get, well, I want some KFC now. Most people normally don't get more healthy. They get more injury prone. Because things never fully heal at 100%. It's you know what I always say? It's always like breaking that vase and then gluing it back together. It may hold up. It may from a distance even look like it's all back to normal. But then when you get close, you can see the cracks in there. Try to fill it with water and you realize, oh, there's a little leak somewhere. Your structure isn't quite the same. Think about your phone. How many times your phone drops before it actually finally breaks? And then as soon as it drops, and then after that time, every single time you drop it after that, it just breaks more and more and more. The Dallas Cowboys may have to do something they weren't ready to do yet. And that is invest highly in a backup quarterback. And listen, there's some of them out there. As we see the Marcus Mariotas of the world out there, right? I'm pretty sure pretty soon that the play stands is called. Oh no, it's a turnover. Who just popped up? I just heard a blue blue. So nope, that's Seattle's ball. And Geno Smith is back behind center. Seattle is up 17-13. Seattle has driven for 50 plus yards in each of the 4 drives in the first half. Cowboys fans really need to be working. Like I said, you're gonna be with Dak Prescott. You're gonna be in the same position early on that you may be with Tony Romo. See, this is also and it's funny, right? That my 2 co-hosts, right, Chill Will and KJ, they're having a heated discussion earlier today about Lamar Jackson and his contract. And I remember when I was telling everybody, I don't think that Dak Prescott deserves this money. Right? And it's not to say that he's not going to get it. I'm just saying that I can see why the Dallas Cowboys may have been reluctant, very specifically in their scenario, to want to pay Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was no better than Tony Romo still to me. And you saw as far as Tony Romo got you. But you also see what you had to do with Tony Romo after a while, because even he couldn't stay healthy. Well, we're starting to see some more patterns again. A guy that kind of starts off, kind of looks like Tony Romo. That's what I always said about Dak Prescott. Doesn't look like a quarterback that's going to make you win a championship, but I mean, he may help you win some games. I still think Tony Romo is better than Dak Prescott. As a quarterback. Purely. I think he's still better. Holding on Denver, on DJ Metcalf. Held the shit out of him. So if the valuation early that this guy is not better than Tony Romo, I can see the reluctancy not to want to pay him the kind of top tier quarterback money that you would have to invest in somebody like that when you don't think he's going to get you any further than the last quarterback did. And you really like the last one. Like, y'all look cool. But also, you don't want to make the same mistake to your franchise. You don't want to handcuff your franchise. But sometimes, it's just about who's up next. And that's the difference. I'm not arguing about who's up next. And being up next, if he should, like, you know what I mean, if that bag just isn't deserving to him because he's the guy up next. Yeah. Listen, man, remember we were talking about a couple of things. Right? We've talked about quarterbacks and their pay for a while now. And like I said, and the next topic of mine is not mine to have. Like, you guys can have that shit. I'm kind of with KJ on here, chill. Well, let's let you know. Right? But now you see Dallas again kind of stuck in the same place again. Now you've paid the quarterback. And it's a quarterback that can't stay healthy. He's now again going to miss half the season. Half of a crucial season when you think again that you have a contending team. So what happens when you lose your general in a battle in battles that you think that you can win or you're supposed to be able to win? Now these becomes battles that you don't know if you're gonna win. These become question marks. They no longer feel like even if they were never guarantees to begin with, they no longer feel like guarantees to the players, to the organization, to the people walking around in Tejas. And if that question mark is in your mind, that means that question mark is in your game plan, in your body. Unknowingly. I don't know about this year. Right? I hear the hoots and hollers for Cam Newton. I hear the hoots and hollers for Colin Kaepernick. I don't know what they do fully this year. Right? They probably do need to figure out some kind of patchwork solution. But after that, you need to invest in a backup quarterback. Who knows? Maybe Cam Newton is a great backup quarterback to have to Dak Prescott in Dallas. You're talking about a big personality in a big personality city. And we already know that regardless of how things sound, unless Jerry Jones wants it to happen, Cam Newton, Denver got the fumble. They got the ball back. Did they get that ball back? We will see. Yo, this game is spicy. Look at that, DJ Metcalf fighting for position, but they stripped him. See? The play right before this, DK Metcalf caught the ball in the middle of the field. And they were trying to wrestle him down. And it took everything for him to wrestle him down and to get him down. And he couldn't. And he got up flexing. Second play, they get the ball back to him again. This time, he's trying to go down. They hold him up a little, balls exposed, riptide. This is a nice game. I'm telling you, this game, I really wasn't sure what to expect from this game because of the unknown of Geno Smith. But the defenses of these two teams is making the quarterback battle a secondary story. The quarterbacks right now are taking a backseat to the performances of this defense. Monday Night Football, y'all. Whew, gotta love it. And just think, when the first 50 million people buy the NFL app and they're making $500 million every single month from it. Plus, for the next 10 years, or 2030, the players aren't getting a dime. Sorry, I have to keep reminding you of what the players decided to negotiate for. They fired the guy that didn't want this deal. I said, nah, we want this deal because we don't have to do piss testing it. And we get more TV money as they're canceling direct TV access. So you guys right now, the block is hot. The block is real hot. I think I want to take a break here. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I want to take a break here. Right? Reset the palate, reset the mood. Right? We got some more knockouts to get into as we talk about the Cowboys being knocked out in the first round. We got some more knockouts for the weekend. We definitely have an event to tell you guys about that you should make your way on to. We still have the Blue Chew promo code to give you guys. Yeah. We still got the Blue Chew promo code of the week to give you guys. We have all that and more on the Mighty Sports Podcast coming up in just a minute. You know what? I think we're going to get on and take our first break, and we'll be back with you guys. My sippy sip.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous.
Get me off screen. There we go.
They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash.
That should be defensive pass interference. Oh, offensive pass interference.
One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world.
No, defensive pass interference. My bad.
They can respond.
Forgetting which color is which.
Became a soldier.
Alright, this next hour to you is brought to you by the United States Army. I want you guys to remember to stay Army strong. And if you guys have any thoughts about what you're doing with your next phase in life, just remember, the United States Army has a job for you. You can literally go into the Army and be anything that you want to be. If you play the flute, you can go in the Army and play the flute. If you want to be a cook, go in there and be a chef. If you want to be a doctor, you go be a doctor. You want to be a veterinarian, you can go do that too. If you want to be on television, you can go do that as well. You understand? They have drum players, flute players. If you want to sing a song for the rest of your life, you could go in there and be a singer. You could go in there and preach the good word of the Lord, and you could go in there and be a chaplain assistant as well. Listen, anything that you can think of being, the United States Army has a job for you. If you want to just be an asshole for the rest of your life, guess what? That's actually a great place to get your start. Army strong. Listen, the military breeding assholes since 1776. Like, oh my God. I went to a wedding a couple weeks ago, right? And the wedding was... I got cops in my family. Like, see, you guys... See, this is the thing about me, right? You guys probably wouldn't know generally how I talk about cops if I had cops in my family. That just shows you I don't give a fuck. And I'll hold anybody accountable. Listen, my cousin wants to bring... Listen, let me let you guys know. My cousin wants to bring me into the station to have an interview with a couple of officers. And yes, folks, I will be asking those hard-ass questions. So if you have a question, and I'm going to post this up there. I'm going to make sure I make a post. If you have a question that you would like me to ask a police officer as I interview them, any question, nothing derogatory, of course. But no, if you want to ask them, like, listen, how come it seems like you guys, how come it seems like that you guys arrest a certain higher percentage of people, in this demographic than others? Listen, you understand, nothing is off limits. You let me know what we want to ask. I got my own set of questions. As soon as he let me know that, I already started writing down the hard-hitting questions. Like, nothing, we're not going to fluff that session up. Nope. We're going to wait for that podcast. When we get that podcast ready, it's going to be straight fire. You guys are going to want to be there for that one. We're going to be in Orlando. Interviewing, listen, some of us are the city's finest. Some of them are. And some of them are the city's worst. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to get somebody heated. We're going to get somebody heated. The only way that I can. The only way I know how. By just speaking the truth. and seeing if it hurts. All right, so let's go ahead and speak some truth into some of the things that are going on, right? Because it's just, DJ Metcalf is gonna touchdown. I wanted DJ Metcalf again for like the third straight year or fourth straight year. I was at an interception. What just happened here? William ball comes up, recovered by Seattle. Jackson with the recovery. Yo, how many turnovers does this game have? I'm telling you. Okay, so Denver had the ball. They're rushing, punches the ball out. He runs into his fat ass lineman. Arm comes around, punches the ball out. Seattle recovers. Pete Carroll is running like he got two good knees. And now there's a Popeyes crispy chicken commercial. Whew. I go for one of those right now. You know what I'm saying? Black people's coming out like a motherfucker. So, as I was saying, as the Cowboys are knocked out of the playoffs already, we also have a couple of other knockouts around the sports world. And it involves football players at that too. Over the weekend, folks. 2K23. No doubt that joint just dropped. I am so happy about it. And you know what? I need to go ahead and play the women's one. I gotta get into the female my player. See, what I'm just upset about so far is that for the female my player mode, they don't have the female like city and rec center yet. Hopefully they get there. They're not quite there yet. Still kind of fugazi. It's in the working. Wow, they're gonna be a couple years behind for a while, but they're gonna catch up. It's gonna be dope. But also, you know what though? It is also, I feel like it's a way. Is one of the ultimate ways to help casual fans, right? Especially casual fans that does basketball and basketball games, to go ahead and try out the women's version of it, and they'll quickly be getting themselves familiarized with the women players. Like, hey, that's what I do. Listen, a bunch of that's what helps me for myself. I do that to myself. But that's what all sports game helps me recognize players more. Listen, sometimes I don't remember who's on some teams, and if it wasn't for like some video games, it reminded me like, oh yeah, that person is here sitting on the bench. I'll forget straight up. But folks, back to football and the knockouts. We had Adrian Peterson, folks. All day, Adrian Peterson taking on Le'Veon. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring a ringer. Ooh, boom, boom. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. That's one of my jams. Tripping. I be in my old school, man. For real. I gotta take another dye treatment to this hair. Looking fine. I like this. We getting there. Nah, I can't see for shit. Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson, they have their celebrity exhibition game match or whatever. And you may have seen them for months now training. Le'Veon Bell doing his training, Adrian Peterson doing his training. And I don't know what the odds were, but I was kind of rooting for Adrian Peterson. I thought he may have won, but this was one of those situations where maybe you've had the better advantage. But honestly, it really was just the luck of one good punch. For 4 rounds, you basically got nothing. When I say nothing, it was 4 rounds of nothingness. And then praise the Lord. In the 4th round, we finally get some action. It's the most action they had all game. All fight, all match, all contest. Thank you. And what ended up happening is that you see it like a little fake, like Le'Veon Bell comes with a couple like feints to the body. Adrian Peterson comes in like he leans in a little bit like he wanted to throw a punch. I don't know. Like he Basically, I don't know what he was doing. He threw his head out there like he was faking. Like, what you fuck? What you want to do, nigga? Like what? Instead of like throwing a hand out there to throw the fake, like he threw the fake like a schoolyard like a schoolyard chick. Like what? You want to fight? What? You know what you do when they throw their chest out, but the fist are behind their chest. Like what? What you doing? What you want to do? He did one of those, and Le'Veon Bell called him flushed, right in the face, right in the kisser, right down the middle, square in the nose. Planted him, sat him down for real. Siéntate, cálmate, te que calmo. Right? And me gusta la chocha de Puerto Rico. Bahani. He catches him flush. Adrian Peterson sits down. And doesn't continue to fight after that. That was enough to send all day Adrian Peterson packing up for the evening. I guess he called it an early day. Like I said, it was 4 rounds of nothing. And it's to be... See, I feel like when it comes to boxing matches, right? It's either 2 guys wildly throwing that don't know how to fight, or 2 guys being super cautious, acting like they're boxers. That's kind of what you got in this fight, right? You got 2 guys kind of... Oh, Geno Smith doing his best Russell Wilson impersonation, but he got to learn how to get out of bounds and not take that hit, Geno. John Jingleheimer Schmidt. Shit. His name is my name too. But he took a helmet on that one. He took a helmet on that one. Geno, yeah, listen. Geno was looking real good. When he runs, if this is how he's going to take hits, Geno Smith is going to be right where Dak Prescott is. At home, but he's going to be, Geno Smith's going to be one if he's going to have another job in this league again. Because this may be his last opportunity to be a starter. Without being on a team that somebody else gets hurt. We're talking about him being a starter day one, named starter, Geno Smith. There you go, QB1. Childish Gambino. I don't know why I like seeing him act for some reason. My battery is low. Oh no. That only seems one thing. My battery should not be low. That means I don't have my laptop plugged in. That can't happen. Alright, let's get that. Okay. Whew. I was close. Surprised systems didn't start shutting down on me. Like any system, not the whole system, but part of the systems. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got on Spaces. I know the Spaces be popping. Oh yeah, we got Chill Will. Oh, mic was off. We got Chill Will over here on Spaces. What's going on, Chill? See, look at that. Look at Spaces was the one place I didn't have the mic off. I didn't even check them previously. Spaces will be alright, though. Spaces will be alright. So, like I said, that's what we got. I mean, it was nothing special between Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell. What you end up getting was 2 fighters, or 2 guys acting like boxers. So they were super cautious. Nobody was really throwing any punches. There was no action. And like I said, and both of them were also, when I say that there's 2 guys acting like boxers, they also get a little too cute for themselves, right? Which means that nobody's really trying to nobody's trying to go out there and really just, they're not trying to just go out there and just throw punches, or just try to go out there and bang. They could go out there and think they're going to throw hooks and body feints and stuff like that. So it was a boring fight from 2 guys that aren't boxers. See, this is the kind of fight that Jake Paul makes look good, because he's fighting Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell, and because they think like these guys are real athletes compared to him, that he'll knock them out. That they'll knock Jake Paul out, but Jake Paul will knock both of them out, because these guys don't box for real. At least Jake Paul is actually an amateur boxer with actual boxing skills and been trained to actually box. Has actual boxing instincts. See, that's what Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson don't have. They may have been training to box this whole entire time, but they have no boxing. They have no natural boxing instincts. Like I said, they're out there trying to box. They're playing boxing, imaginary boxing. It's kind of how people look at Jake Paul, but at this point now, he's had enough fights where you can't say he's imaginary boxing. He's just having amateur fights or exhibition fights. And these exhibition fights are, look at Geno Smith taking a lick to the arm, you have to learn to run out of bounds, Geno. You can't take those hits. You've been out before. See, listen, that's frustrating. And this is how you know that Geno Smith hasn't learned the goddamn thing. These are the same kind of hits that was putting him out before. Like, you've been injured before trying to. What's going on, Tabby? How you doing? How you doing? Looking all cute and shit. We see you. Stop it. Like that's this. It's the same thing that's put Geno Smith out before. Like I said, I'm a Jets fan. I'm confusing my New Yorkness over here. Let me get a sip. Get my mind focused. It's all scattered and shit like that. That's good. That's good. That's gonna hit me hard. So, yeah, Geno Smith can't be doing that. He really can't be doing that. Like he's been out injured before, but doing the same kind of thing, trying to take the hit. He has to learn. He has to really try to learn like some of these other. And we just talked about this. I don't know, maybe we just talked about this with him, or we talked about this on Friday. Talked about this with friends. But I know I just talked about this. Look at that. Geno Smith got caught from behind. Look at that. Yeah, they caught him in his throwing motion. Ball pops up in the air. Number 67 grabs it, reels it. Man, shoot, Geno Smith is lucky. I'm telling you right now, man. These defenses came out to play. These defenses came, boy, I'm telling you. The focus coming into this game was on the offenses, but these two defenses came out to play. and you could tell the difference from when you see the offense flying all over the place versus the defense flying all over the place. This game is the defenses flying all over the place. Every time you look up, you see a defensive player making a game-winning play, a game-changing play, a momentum-changing play, a drive-changing play. Special teams, negative, you know what I mean? They just force negative yards on the return. This game is everything but the offense. But I'm telling you, I'm going to be listening tomorrow. I am going to be listening tomorrow. And I want to hear how they're talking about this game. Because if they ain't talking about, if they ain't excited about, if they ain't hyping up, if they ain't bigging up these two defenses, then they are doing this game an injustice. And that means they ain't really watching this game. That means that they're just trying to talk about what people like or what people potentially like to hear about, and that is offense. But no, this defense is crazy. And you know how it is, right? As you guys know, I not just when we're doing the podcast, I like to watch games on mute, period. And it brings out a whole different aspect of the game because you're not being led by the announcers, by the commentators, right? You're being led by the camera a little bit, but now your eyes are allowed to wander because they haven't highlighted, they haven't mentioned somebody that forces you now to go search for that individual. No, you kind of got to step back and you got to put the parental vision on or the wide view vision on. You know what I mean? You put the fish lens on and you really survey the whole entire environment. It's a beautiful thing. It really is poetry in motion, baby. It really is. Man, let's get back in here, right? Let come telling you, boy. This game is exciting. This game is exciting. Ooh, look at that cheesy bro. Who the fuck is calling me? somebody. And I answered this just to that GP, but somebody just called me. Doesn't know that I have a podcast going on right now, so I will call you back after the podcast. It's gonna be in about an hour and a half. Is that cool with you, or are you in trouble?
No, you're good, babe.
Alrighty, talk to you later.
All right.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you folks. Don't get a phone call from that person very often, so I had to answer that phone call. Had to make sure everything's good. You understand there's some people in your life that even when you don't hear from them, or when you hear from them, you're just like, oh, okay, this may be odd. Let me answer this and see how things go. So I had to make sure that wasn't an emergency phone call that people needed my help. You know what I mean? Because hey, things happen like that. I said, I'm gonna help anybody, man. Shit just kind of yeah. But nah, yeah, gotta catch up with my boy. That's an old army buddy of mine since Germany and Indiana, Joseph Paul. So I'm gonna catch up with him a little bit later. We're gonna see how he's doing. And yes, you guys heard right. He called me babe, but that's because he's gay. Like that's just how he talks. Like I don't know if you guys are wondering, like, yo, did he call him babe? Like he definitely did, but that's just how he talks. And he's not in an army environment where he has to alter his verbiage so he can hide his sexual preference anymore. We came up in the era of don't ask, don't tell. That transformed into don't ask, don't tell, don't harass. And then it became to if you could bust your gun and do push-ups, we don't give a fuck. Which is kind of how it always should have been. Because really the only reason why it wasn't happening is because niggas is homophobic. Because dudes as a normal dude want to fuck every single attractive chick, or fuck every single chick that they're attractive to. And that's how they think. And they think that that's how gay guys think. But that probably is. But I mean, they gonna act on it, on every single one, like how some of you monsters are. Okay, your booty hole is safe. All right, let's get out of this dark hole, right, and get back into some sports. Right. That wasn't the only fights that happened this weekend. The UFC had themselves a nice little event as well. And we saw a fight between Nate Diaz and former champion Tony Ferguson, right? And anytime you get Nate Diaz in a fight, you could basically expect the unexpected. Because you never know what you're going to get from a Nate Diaz fight. Because you never know what you're going to get from Nate Diaz, period. And this is one of those games. Remember, Nate Diaz, from the very beginning, right? And he has, I forgot what his older brother name is. I think it's Big Bro Diaz or something like that, right? Like Uni-chan Diaz or some shit like that he calls him. Right? But if you guys remember from the first time we saw Nate Diaz from The Ultimate Fighter, he already had a fighting background. Like his brother had a fighting background. He had a fighting background. And Nate Diaz even from the very beginning was always a very well-rounded fighter, right? He had good striking, right? He had good calculated striking. He had good showmanship as well, right? And he had good grappling and good submission game. Like he was a really well-rounded fighter. And you see when the UFC is looking for fights, he's one of these guys that he's never mind stepping up for a fight. And but he also gets to a point now too. He's like, yo, listen, when I'm fighting, I need to start fighting for number one contendership or championships. My name should be a little bit more respected, but there's also a ranking. So who do they put him in? They put him a former champion, Tony Ferguson. And I ain't gonna lie to you, before Tony Ferguson became champion, is it Tony Ferguson even? Yeah, Tony Ferguson. No, I'm not. Oh, I was about to bash him. I was thinking Tony Ferguson was somebody else for half a second. Right? Like they put him against Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson as a former champ, like he was pretty dope as shit too. I was about to say something completely different about Tony Ferguson. For half a second, I thought he was somebody else, and then it popped in my head. Oh no, that's not who you're thinking of. So they put on a good fight. Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson. These are two names in the division, right? Two guys that have held belts, two guys that have clout, and they put on a good fight. Nate Diaz being in Nate Diaz form, he did the unpredictable in the fight, and I think it was, can't remember if it was in the third or in the beginning of the fourth, maybe in the fourth. Was it the same round that he ended this match also ended in the fourth, just like the Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell. This one also ended in the fourth. But Nate Diaz takes a break in the beginning of the round. Like, he comes out, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk around this ring a little bit, regain my breath, recapture my composure. Nah, if you want, you come at me. But right now, I'm gonna walk around. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, it's like, you know what? I feel good. Went back into the fight. I said it was awkward, but it may have been just enough to throw Tony off of his game. Next thing you know, Nate Diaz is pulling off the submission, and we're talking about 2 minutes 52 seconds left in the fight. Uncatchable ball. Russell Wilson got hit on that one. So those are your two big fight moments. Not Khabib, but I forgot who that was. But yeah, that the co-main event of the evening. Oh shoot, my back is pinching. The co-main event of the evening, that ended up being a first round tap out. So all of that hoopla, all of that rah shit, you know what I mean, before the fight, you know what I mean, behind the scenes and everything else like that. That fight basically just ended it in a nice little quick tap out. Russell Wilson floats one over. Listen, man, this is gonna be crazy because even before Russell Wilson, Denver was one of those teams that you never thought over the last couple years was out of any game, even with their bad quarterbacks. They had good defense. They had good offensive weapons. You know, looking at this team, man, this team looks more streamlined. You can still see like there's some timing issues here and there, but also this is timing issues going against one of the better defenses in the league, and not just one of the better defenses in the league, a defense that knows your tendencies. The play that we just saw, Russell Wilson did a play that he's probably hit DJ Metcalf with probably 18 times already in a couple of times that they've been there, and that was just a quick rollout to his left. You know what I mean? Throw for a nice little float in the corner of the end zone. But the defense is all over that because we've seen this before. We've seen this every day for years. And for us that may be a little bit newer, that hasn't seen it since as long as you've been here, we got other people telling your tendencies in the beginning. So we had a lot of inherent passed down knowledge. There he goes again. They let him get the stuff underneath. They're gonna let him dink and dunk. They're gonna make them have to have some body contact before they get that touchdown or that first down. It's a nice game. This shit got me shaking my leg. Y'all see that shit? Like, I'm over here. All right, we go. Let's see. We have a third down over here. We're gonna continue to march forward. But you know, I want to talk about a little. You know, I want to take a little mini break. How much time we have? Let's take a mini break right here, right? And let's talk about let's take a mini sports break. And let's talk about like a little personal holiday. You guys, there goes some daylight. You know, you have may not have heard me mention this before, right? But every once in a while, I like to take my own, what I call my own little personal holidays. And it's important to me to have little personal holidays, as I feel like it should be important to everybody to just take out days for yourself. But not a random sick day, right? Where all of a sudden you don't see all of a sudden you're not feeling on a Tuesday. You be like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna call out sick. Hey, yo, Mitch, ain't no glaucoma, you know what I mean? Like, nah. I mean, like, actual days. Like, for instance, personal holiday. Easy one. Your birthday. I don't care what nobody says. You shouldn't be working on your birthday. Right? Once you've been at your job at your proper amount of time, take it off. Make sure you take it off. Have that day to yourself. Not just for party. I don't care if it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. Have that day for yourself. But also other days. Right? Like, for me, I like to take off the day that I joined the army. And I also like to take off two. That may have been just on the line, though. Right? I like to take off the day I joined the army, but not just the day I joined the army as a celebration. I also like to take off the day I got out the army. I like to make that my own personal holiday. I don't care what day it falls on. If it falls on a weekend, then I give myself a 3-day weekend. But actually, what you taking that day off for? It's a personal day. Built-in personal holidays. If you have accomplishments or personal accolades in your life, graduated college, got that bachelor's, got that master's, got that doctorate, celebrate that shit every single year. Why not? You could be celebrating everything else things that you don't want to celebrate. Anniversaries, other people's birthday. You know, donut day, cat day, boyfriend day, girlfriend day. You got all these random shits. Make a me day for you. Make yourself your own personal day. Toss it up, or just do what you probably want to do majority of the time, but there's just people around, or you normally have shit to do. Do nothing. Have a day and do nothing. Watch TV and scratch your crotch. You know what I mean? That's it. And of course, for all you Nate Dogg School of Medicine alumni, you already know what you're going to be doing that day.
Smoke weed every day.
And
Smoke weed every day.
And
Smoke weed every day.
because now we're
streaking.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming. Everybody's doing it.
and we do have a lot of winning streaks going on right now. There's a lot of teams on a 1-game winning streak. I mean, yes, everybody's doing it. Except the AFC South? Is that who hasn't won a game? Every conference has somebody that has won at least one game. I mean, every division. Except for, I think, the AFC South. And 2 of them played each other. Yes, folks. The AFC South. Every single team has an O in the win column. But you know what, though? I know you're talking about the personal holiday. You know it's a good day to take a personal holiday for? To go see an art show. And let me tell you this. At the Coral Springs Center of Art, it has a show that will warm the heart. In Art We Lust 3 on October 21st. Hold on one second. I am not giving this the proper justice. I apologize. Let's get them set up right. All right. Let's get me out of here. Let's get these guys set up right. Let's put them on the big screen. Right? Let's get you guys some verbiage for them. So you guys know what's going on. And let's try this again. So, Coral Springs Center of the Arts. Right? They have a show that's going to warm your heart. And Art We Lust 3 on October 21st is the place to be. With an all-female cast of artists and vendors. This is an event with prime time splendor. Go to the centers or the centercs.com. Use promo code ART22. You see it at the bottom of your screen. www.thecentercs.com, like centercoralsprings.com. Use the code ART22 and go ahead and preserve your tickets today. Now, for those that are in the South Florida area, and mainly this is good for all you guys in the South Florida area, right? But for you guys locally down here, I also have a special treat for you, right? I have a very, very special treat for you. we will be doing a raffle every single Wednesday from Sharky's for The Art of Lust 3. It's $1 to get your raffle ticket. We will have the raffle running from now until October 12th. October 12th, we will announce the winner. Now, you have to be there to buy a ticket. You don't have to be there to win the contest. Make sure you put your contact information on the back of the tickets, and we will contact you with your ticket information. I will go ahead and transfer the tickets over to you, and you will have 2 tickets for the event. So listen, come out there and get yourself a raffle ticket. The more raffle tickets you get, the more opportunities that you get to be able to go to this show, and you're gonna want to see it. It's an art show, and as you heard me say that it's an art show that is an all-female show, an all-female cast and crew. So it's all female artists, it's all female vendors. It's a woman that's all woman cast, all women vendors. Say female, you know how we want to take it. But the coordinator and the director of it is a woman as well, obviously, right? And we're trying to get her on the show. We really are. She is the lovely Nikki Dyken, and sorry, give me a second. It's the only time I ever thought about being a stepdad. I swear to God. Like, you know what it is? I need to behave myself. I need to behave myself for real, for real. I need to stop. Take myself a drink. Regain my composure. You guys know I come in ready for the shits, right? I don't want problems. I don't want peace. I want problems always. You know how that shit goes. So back to it. So yes, we will be having a raffle for you guys every single Wednesday. Get yourself a raffle ticket. Get yourself in the drawing. Like, the only way to get yourself these free tickets is to join the raffle. Now, the raffle money is also going to be going to the fundraiser. Half of the raffle money. We'll see how much. But raffle winnings will be going to the fundraiser that they'll be donating to as well. So I believe that they're given to that they are doing a cancer fundraiser as well. I don't know if it's a breast cancer. I think I saw some pink in there. Right, so maybe a breast cancer fundraiser as well. So another turnover. Look at that. Right? No, they got pressure off the edge. Right, come off his left side. Bam, they get the Geno. No turnover, but they definitely got the sack for a loss. And he saw him right. Listen, he saw him right on time too, so he can go ahead and tuck that ball, because if he didn't see him, that was about to be a turnover. But he saw him at the very last second, like he felt him coming. Finally, so you know what though, at least tells me that Geno Smith has a little bit of has gained a little bit of pocket presence since his last opportunity from starting. And granted, and that's his opportunity starting. I'm not just talking about for the Jets. I think he also started in Philly for a little while as well too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did. Giannis must be hungry, because now I'm watching this Subway's commercial, and this Subway sandwich is looking good too. Talking about buy one, get one. Like what, 1 foot long? Trip, if you talking about like 1 3 or 6 inch. Like, pause. Let's get back to the shits. I actually have something that I wouldn't be expecting to have to talk with you guys right now. And I actually got some basketball to talk with you guys, right? It really is weird, right? Like I really actually have some basketball, and not just basketball. We got that Knicks talk. You know we got that Knicks talk, We stay with that Knicks talk, Yeah. You know we got that Knicks talk. You guys may not have heard this, and it's going to be a very brief, but Hall of Famer, already Hall of Famer, right? Walt Clyde Frazier is being inducted into the Hall of Fame again. Yes, folks. Clyde Frazier, he's getting his second induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And this time, it's not for his work on the court. It's for his superb work on the court. Off the court, sorry. On the mic, off the court. Behind the scenes. Commentating. Talking up the game. Now, can I tell you? It's actually kind of, I find something funny. And I think you guys learned this on the other day last week on the podcast. I was actually kind of shocked to hear that all Knicks fans don't use the word neophyte. Like, seriously? Like honestly. And I'm going to have to call into the station. I'm going to have to call into a station, right? And I'm going to have to call into ESPN New York and figure this one out. Because can you even call yourself a Knicks fan if you don't use the word neophyte? Like, seriously. If you don't say stuff like dishing and swishing. Like seriously. Like, can you call yourself a Knicks fan if you're not saying things like that? Listen, I am flabbergasted. I am beside myself. I am torn. You understand? I am triggered as triggered can be. Second most in NFL since 2012. Matthew Stafford, 32 career game winning drives in fourth quarter. They're talking about Russell Wilson over there, Mr. So we want to give a nice little shout. Oh my God, he dropped the easy pass. We want to give a nice little shout out, right? That was Judy on that one, and obviously, whoa, I don't have it up. Now that's shocking. No wonder I was thrown off the other day, right? What we want to give a nice little big up, like to Clyde Frazier as he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame twice. Now you understand that this is something that you normally hear in like wrestling, right? Thank you, finally. And that's the multiple Hall of Fame inductions. Right? But now you're starting to catch it in the other sports as well. Especially as now you see the time starting to pass where people that were players are now getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame now for their television work or their commentating work. You know what I mean? Or their production work now. Or their coaching as well too. Right? So now so you're starting to see players starting to get in for the second time because of that extra work. But also, we see a group of players that are able now to get into the Hall of Fame for the first time. Right? Because of their work in the game of basketball. Right? Or with the game of basketball versus in the game of basketball. We're talking about this much. Wait, did they give him the first down? I think they did. Did they get the first down? I think they did. It was this much. Boy, it was close. That sucker was real close. This game is interesting. This game is really interesting. So again, to Clyde, because he is one of the staples of New York football. Oh, he's challenging it. Listen, it was that close when I saw him. Pete Carroll. He's challenging that. Because you can see that it wasn't a first down. But there was some space in between there. But they're gonna challenge that spot. Oh no, it looks like he got it to me right there. Actually, it looks like he definitely got it to me. Look, that spacing may be bad. Like Pete Carroll may be asking them to remeasure that, and if they review that properly, they may say that it was definitely a first down, and that the space and that the placing of the ball was wrong the first time. We'll see how this review comes back. Pete Carroll just did a nice, just did a challenge, fanatic challenge too. Fuck out of here! I'm talking about. Y'all keep this. I'm gonna drop N bombs. No, I'm joking. So yeah, that's the only thing I had to get in with the Knicks. But I do have more basketball talk, right? It's very odd in a day that football should be dominating, and it kind of is, right? Dominated the weekend, amongst other things happening. I catch myself wanting to talk basketball, and I know what you're saying, like T. That's just you and your love for basketball, but I can't help it that basketball things come up of relevance, right? And before we get into the heavy topic, let's throw some of the light stuff, like the return of the rat, return of the rat, return of the rat, Rat Beverly, right? He makes his debut in Laker Town. Right, he's doing his media day, taking his pictures, addressing the media and stuff like that. And I'm watching this commercial with Deion Sanders and the backstabber. All right, but Rat Beverly, he gets in, he does his media day. He walks in, says hello to the crowd. Nothing wrong with what he did. Says hello to the... Damn, I want food now. Get any two for $6.99 each. I may be ordering Papa John's pretty soon. Order myself some brownies, pizza, some twist, and something else. I don't know. I'm gonna go fat pretty soon. Speaking of, I gotta call and make reservations for my brother's birthday this weekend. In 4 days is my brother's birthday. Which reminds me, folks, we won't be having a podcast on Friday. So we'll be doing our picks on Wednesday, early on the podcast. So tune in for the picks on Wednesday, because that's gonna be coming to you guys. That's gonna be coming early to you guys. Right. So let's continue to march forward. Right. Let's stay stable for a little while. I'll keep you up in this game. This game is 16-17 right now. Seattle is up, but Denver has the ball and they're driving down to 2nd and 4. So the Rat greets everybody and says hello. Everybody doesn't quite say hello back. Goes back up to them like, "Hey, I said hello, right? He said we're a family, right? Right? You know, somebody said, I can say goodbye. You know, I just walk back out. You know, so, I said, I come greet you, like greet me back, please. You know, and I know that like it set the tone of it, but also I don't see anything wrong with that. Like he's letting them know, like, hey, it's not like let's be good. Let's be good about this. Let's be cool about this. Like, I know I may seem as like this rough and rugged guy, but like when when we're being cordial, it's time to be cordial. And then when it's time to start putting on the show, we'll put on the show. And then no doubt they asked him, "Hey, how does it feel to work with LeBron James?" And he was like, "Yo, I walked into the shower." Now this is how I heard the story. He walked into the shower, all right, while LeBron was showering. He grabbed LeBron by the dick, and he told LeBron that, "Hey, listen, I made the playoffs last year. You didn't. You guys are playing with me. Like, look at me. I'm the captain now." And he's like, "Yo, everybody understood." That's the rat for you. The snake, the rat, the cat, and the dog. How you gonna see it when you living in the fog? Rest in peace, DMX. I gotta watch this movie, the new Thor, Tropic Thunder. I also have to see that. You know what? I still have plenty of movies to watch for the whole DC thing. I haven't watched any of the She-Hulk yet. I haven't seen the Broken Dimensions yet. I haven't seen Thor: Tropic Thunder. I haven't seen the Black Knight, Moon Knight thing. It's quite. I haven't seen Shadow and Light and Shadow. So there's a couple of them I still haven't seen. But you know what I started watching recently? You know what I started watching very recently? Did I just finish talking about what I was talking about anyway? Who cares? Since we're talking about the Lakers, actually, in a very weird way. You know what I was watching recently? I started watching this show on Hulu called Legacy. And I'm going to tell you why, right? It was very weird. Since the Michael Jordan thing, right? I forget what, The Last Dance, or The Last Stand, whatever it's called. I haven't really watched any more really sports documentaries since then. I haven't really watched any of these things that they've put out. Cause I haven't watched the Derek Jeter one, and obviously they put out a bunch of ones I don't want to watch. Like they put out the one about the Boston Red Sox, and some other ones that was just too close to the trigger at home. You know what I mean? That I can't go down, live down these memory lanes like this. Like we had some bad memories for my sports fandom. I didn't go out and watch the bad Mike Tyson movie yet, and I didn't watch that one they did about Magic, right? But when this one came out, I automatically put it on. And I told myself, T, listen to me. You need to start watching these things. Just if it's just something interesting that you may have not known, or there's something to talk about with and for you guys, right? So that we're not just always just talking about straight on sports all the time. I like to break from the mundane. I always tell you guys, like my first love was baseball, so I'll go left field anytime. And so I feel like, let me bring some left field shit in here. As Aaron Judge is still stuck on 55 home runs, let's bring some left field in here, Ooh. Hell of a tackle for a loss. Dude shook himself up. Seattle. Helmet came off. Shook himself completely up. Can't even get up yet. I think it's his knee. I think he ripped his whole entire knee pad over it. The linebacker. Let's see again. Let's see if his knee pad was already all scraped up before that. Nope, it wasn't. So he hit his own knee on his cleats. I knew I saw something like his whole entire somebody else is down. And like it ripped his whole entire like knee part of his spandex up. Right? Knee pad up, whatever it was. Compression pants. It ripped that open immediately. So he made this called like a little stinger, you know what I mean? And his knee kind of jammed it up. But now we have number 52 down. And it looks like he may be stretching. I don't know if he's cramping up or anything. Number 57, he's okay. He's good now. Yeah. It was a light jam. Probably just a stinger. Probably gonna swell. He's good now. How you doing, Poe? We see you. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? How's the little ones? So I'm watching this show, right, called Legacy, and it happens to, and what it is going through the Lakers organization, Lakers dynasty, through the years, and no sound. Oh, I don't know that. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure why I'm having sound issues on Podbean. But you know what though? I have not seen this little meter move in a while. But thank you. I'll fix. I'll pop up the new feed coming soon. No wonder. So, Chill Will. If that was the case, how come Chill Will didn't tell me sooner? Like Chill Will was in the Spaces feed. He was in my Instagram feed. He was even over here, and he even say nothing. You know what? Chill, Will. I swear, me and you and I, we gonna beef on that one. But it's okay though. It's just about time for me to. It was just about time for me to change out that Podbean feed. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get that switched out. So we gonna lose. Can't even say we gonna lose the people on Podbean because we didn't have them to begin with. No wonder they were just coming in and out. No wonder the call. No wonder the calling line was looking all crazy. Alrighty, let's get this fixed, and let's get the new feed. Let's get the new feed up and running, and get these guys back in. So as I was saying, so I'm over here and I'm watching the new Legacy show, and I think I got like on episode 2, and I haven't so far heard too much stuff that I didn't know before, right? And I was gonna say that I didn't really hear a lot of stuff that I didn't know, right? But I mean, I guess I could say it that way. I didn't hear a lot of things that I didn't know, but there were 2 things that really popped out to me early, right? There were 2 things that really, really popped out to me early, and one of them were, I did not know that Jerry Buss had that many kids. Like, I know hearing about Jeannie and the 2 brothers. I didn't realize that there was another girl and I think 2 more brothers. And they missed. When it took a time out. And I didn't know that Jerry Buss had 2 children younger than me. Yes. I think his last kid is born in like 87 or 89. And we all know that Jerry Buss hasn't been married for a while. So like his last 4 kids don't look nothing like him, but they kind of look like him. But one looks like a Spanish version of him. One is like an Asian version of him. One, you know what I mean? One looks like an Irish version of him. Like it's really so. His last 3 kids, you can. Did he make that one? Nope, still didn't make it. 64-yard attempt, no good. Looks like in game 1. Russell Wilson is going to take that loss going back to Seattle. Geno Smith gets his first win back as a starter. And most likely Seattle's going to go into victory formation. We're going to call this a night. You like the dreads? You like the dreads? Thank you. They're coming in, right? But I'm watching this Legacy show. And like I said, there's not a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like, obviously, we knew that Jerry Buss and Magic were really tight. You know that Magic won a championship his first year in. We know about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being injured. I didn't know. I guess one thing I didn't know, but it wasn't really minute to me. But as soon as I heard them say this, I guess this is you can hear where a lot of some of the unwritten rules of basketball, how early they come from. And one of the stuff like a player being cozy with the or being friendly with the owner, you know what I mean. But Jerry Buss was just a different kind of owner back then, and because it was so mom and pop, it's like he went to go meet Magic. Magic had never been in L.A. He put up a place for Magic to stay. You know what I mean? He showed Magic around. You know, like it was things like that. So and then it was a star. So you can see how the contention starts to build with other players, but really they can when you hear the other players really start to talk about it, it's really more about you can really what it plays to is their weak-mindedness, right? Their petty jealousies, right? Like the little things that they can't get over that has nothing to do with the game of basketball, because in their mind they perceive something a certain way, so they're building their own they're building their own BS narratives. And those same BS narratives is why you're not performing, is why you get traded, or why you don't win the way you're supposed to. because you're worried if Magic is now suddenly telling everything that you guys have done to the owner instead of working about, hey, yo, wondering about, hey, do I need to be in my proper spot when Magic is ready to pass this ball? Do I need to make sure I'm over here, I'm playing proper help defense? No, you're over here worrying about things that don't matter. So, damn, Geno Smith, 23 for 28 tonight. Still only 195 yards, though. Still kind of sounds like Geno Smith. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Still only 195 yards. That's very Geno Smith-ish. Like, they definitely are still game managing him. But it's okay. Geno Smith may actually listen this time because it's what made Russell Wilson successful in this offense, right? And with this team and with that coach. And we see where it led for Russell Wilson. Geno Smith, well, it may not lead Geno Smith to a Super Bowl. Geno Smith may take this more serious than he's ever taken any other role that he's taken before, because this may lead to him being a better quarterback and even help him get a starting job again, possibly. After this, if this doesn't work out for some reason, if they let him go early or he gets injured. Don't mess up this opportunity, Geno. You got yourself a nice win. You can't be taking those hits. So, like I said, so back to the legacy show, right? Because it's crazy, right? One thing I didn't know was that Jerry Buss had that many kids. I think he has like 6 kids. I think I only knew about 3. The other thing I didn't know at all, and I don't know why this never popped up on my radar, that Magic Johnson was signed to a $25 million deal for 25 years. He got one of those Bobby Bonilla deals, and I did not know that. They were going to pay him $1 million every year, plus, whatever, for 25 years. Now, that jealousy rift that started coming into play with Magic and the players, this is kind of what started it, was his contract for 25 years. Because they didn't know if he was one of them, or if he was part of the players, or if he was part of management. And it was like, listen, I can't do it. I have nothing to do with the kind of money they want to give me. But Jerry Buss was grooming Magic to learn the business. Now you understand why Magic is so loyal and indebted to the Lakers organization. Listen to what I told you. From the moment he was drafted, they met him personally. Brought him to his house. Home cooked meal. Showed him around. As a young kid. Brought him into the clubs. Brought him around these celebrities. Brought him around business meetings. Taught him the business. Taught him business. But then also taught him the business of basketball. Like, this is what he did for himself. This is why Magic is so loyal to him. Like, you have to understand how deep that goes. And he was loyal to him at a young age, and he's been loyal to the Lakers ever since. It's funny too. I still think him and Jeannie did something at least once. Don't ask me why. But for some reason, oh, this is nice. Russell Wilson and DJ Metcalf exchanging jerseys in the middle of the field. But I really think that they did something at least once. At least once. They did. I feel like she's too in awe of him sometimes. Well, like I said, that's just speculation. See, the 2 things I did. So I think I'm about 2-3 episodes in, and you go. It really is a nice little reminiscent, like walk down memory lane. And this may be. I don't know if this is the documentary that Magic was talking about he was making, and the one that Michael having his last dance inspired him to make, because this really is a walk down the Lakers dynasty at first. But of course you can't talk about the Lakers without talking about Magic. So it kind of starts off really just a little bit about the Lakers before Magic, because really before Magic is really before Jerry Buss as well, and they both were rookies at the same time. So they both came in the league the same time. They both won their first year at the same time. Like, they've been tied at hip since the very beginning. Like I said, like it's a nice story that they're telling so far. It really is, and I didn't even think about it when I was watching it earlier that this may be the Magic documentary in a weird way, just but disguised as the Lakers documentary. Maybe this is the Lakers one, but I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna go back, right? I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch that Magic one. I'm gonna watch that other Magic one that he hasn't watched that he didn't approve. I'm gonna watch that Mike Tyson one that he hasn't approved yet either. I'm gonna watch all these bad ones, right? All these ones that look bad, and I'm gonna let you guys know how these things are, because I really I gotta get into some of these things. Like, I can't just watch nothing but sports and anime all the time. I'm still watching more of these sports / documentaries that they have out there. Jesus, I'm just afraid they're gonna be bad. Like, I remember watching some of these documentaries as kids, and that's maybe why it's hard for me to watch the new Mike Tyson. Like, I've seen 3 different versions of this Mike Tyson already, and I don't know if I want to watch somebody else's bad 4th. Buy one, get one from it. See, I'm just flat out hungry now. You know what? I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I got. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got more basketball to talk about. Maybe I'll leave you with this. I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'm gonna wrap it up, right? And when we come back, we'll talk about it on Thursday. Can you name a basketball team that can beat the team, since we're talking about him, of Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, and Wilt Chamberlain? And I ain't gonna lie, if you wanted to, this is gonna be talking Lakers. After that, I want you to take the all-time Lakers great and see if you can make a team that can beat them. All Lakers team? You talking about access to Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Jerry. Like, this list is extensive. The mailman. No, it'll have to be like all-time Lakers though. Shaq though, but Jesus. You understand the catalog you'll be exposed to. It's crazy. But yeah, let's keep it simple. You give me one that you think can beat Magic, Mike, Bird, Tim, and Wilt. I think I got a 5. I think I got a 5 that in a 7-game series, they may be able to get them. They may be able to get them. I'm unsure about one particular position. And it's the only position that wouldn't have a champion on it. Or maybe, I think he is a champion. But he wasn't the key reason why that team won a champion. But I have one position that doesn't have a champion on it, in it. Because remember, these are champions on everywhere else. Wilt, champ, Tim, champ, Bird, Mike, Magic, champ. I paused about Wilt. I can't remember if Wilt had won one. I think Wilt snuck away with 1 or 2 championships in his career. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. When we come back on Wednesday, right, we'll pick that back up and see what you guys have for me. We're gonna do our picks on Wednesday as well. We'll get more into some of these topics that we didn't get a chance to talk about today. Hopefully, we'll talk about some of these college hot seats and some of these things that's happened in college. Right now, Anthony Edwards is having to apologize to his basketball constituents for gay slurs. We have to get more to see what that's all about. But folks, not only have we officially wrapped up a week's worth of podcasting, 3 days, right? We also have wrapped up the first week of football. So, I want you guys, I want to start leaving you guys with a nice little saying, right? I don't know if you caught it last time, but let's go ahead and leave you guys saying, right? Getting trashed. It's the American way. And with that, it's the Mighty Sports Podcast. I am your boy, Donald Thormont Taylor, and we are out of here. Out of here. Yo, fade me down probably before I chop you. See, technical difficulties, emotional damage and shit. Don't forget the art show. You guys make it down there. Alright, let's go old school. That's why we have it.
Sorry, B. I tried. Honest. All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers. Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got good mic skills. New, improved MyT podcaster. Potted down now. Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't wanna go far. Wild night. Tired, B. Tired. MyT!
Sports. People are not happy with Russ already. They are not happy with Russ. It's going down in the champagne room. Oh, this week's Blue Chew promo code. NOKJ. That is November Oscar Lima Juliet. Don't forget to get your order of Blue Chew for free. Because remember, Blue Chew is that little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you need to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. She'll love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code, you'll be able to get your first order for free. Yes, folks, your first order for a free. Only thing you have to do is pay for shipping and handling. Make sure you take care of your postal workers. And that'll be it. Blue Chew. Like, there's really just 2 instructions. You chew it, and then you do it.